What in the hell is going on?
Life. Same like people and stuff.
Same
It's weird.
people.
I remember like my tryout was in 2014 and it was held in Melbourne, Australia. So when NXT, this is crazy too. NXT.
Hey guys, it's that time of the year again to have budget cuts, but this time with WWE, they've released a load of talent, a little bit more than usual. Let's tune in more. Let's talk about these releases here at Toss Ring Scandal, aka KDH.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody.
Hey guys, we're here at Toss Ring Scandal, aka KDH. We're at the locker room. Turnbuckle King the building. We'll talk about WWE releases talent of a loaded roster. You guys get the license. We coming to the ring at the locker room because we about to air some dirty laundry on this one. Now, we got a list here of all the talent that's been released by WWE, an update list. Braun Strowman, Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler, Caden Carr, Katana Chance, Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, Eddie Thorpe. The list goes on and on and on. But here's a particular look at some of these people that have been released. Braun Strowman, Dakota Kai, and Shayna Baszler here. These were three of the biggest names that were released due to budget cuts. Now, I know Braun Strowman and Dakota Kai particularly were rehires. So this is a second time being released from WWE. Shayna Baszler recently had just re-signed with WWE late last year, so this was a shocking one for Shayna because I thought she was good. She was probably the most shocking of all of them. And then we have more here of Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, Javier from Evolve. Then we had Gigi Dolan. So not only we had a lot of talent, we had a lot of people that were released from NXT and Evolve, the developmental systems of WWE. Caden Carr, Katana Chance is a big L, one of the best tag teams ever in WWE, a real tag team, not some tag team put together. And it's just a very shocking, that was a little bit, sucks losing those two in particular. Then we had also Gallus, a great tag team that was back in NXT UK days. If you guys follow NXT UK, Jakara Jackson of the Metaphor, her and Lash, they just broke up on NXT. I had a feeling it was going to cover Jakara Jackson because her and Lash were not winning the women's tag team belts. They also were not officially on the main roster. They were just bouncing around. And they also were bounced between TNA and Cora Jade, another person who's bouncing around the TNA, and they broke up her and Roxanne Perez tag team. We have Ora Mensa, Riley Osborne, and Eddie Thorpe. All three of these men were on NXT or / Evolve. So since Ora Mensa a part of Metaphor as well, not shocking that he's gone. Riley Osborne, he went from NXT and he went down to Evolve, and Eddie Thorpe, he just fought for the NXT Championship a couple months ago. So it's shocking here, but I will say with some of these releases, the reason for it is pretty much what I said in the beginning. WWE has way too many people on the roster. And since they signed all these people now, we have to remember we have the WWE, the ID program. We have the NIL, we have LFG, the TV show that's on A&E, and we also have the Evolve show. And I think with all these young kids coming in, it's pushing out the old talent. It's pushing out the older talent that's been there for a minute on Evolve, and NXT is affecting those people. Now, when it comes up to the main roster, as far as that goes, a lot of those people are taking L's because we see them on TV for a split second. For a hot minute, we'll see them, then we don't see them anymore. Like I said, the big shocking one, some people were shocked with Cora Jade, Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman was not on TV that much, so I'm not surprised by him, even though he was a rehire. Dakota Kai, I really wasn't surprised by her. Dakota Kai recently had just said that she put out a tweet saying that, or a post on X saying she's still here, she's not injured, and blah, blah, blah. She said that to response to Triple H, saying he will not release talent, unless they're injured or something of some sort. and she showed a recent picture of her naturally curly hair. I know Dakota Kai does that. I like Dakota Kai as a performer. Anytime she's not on television, she loves to go online and spark up attention, do anything to get attention with the media. So I know that Dakota Kai, she has a podcast with Selena Vega. They spoke about how Dakota Kai spoke about how she got hired with WWE initially. Then we'll hear stuff from Gigi Dolan, and we'll hear stuff from Jakara Jackson. You know, just their time in WWE. So let's check it out here.
Different life. Same like people and stuff.
Same
It's weird.
people.
I remember like my tryout was in 2014, and it was held in Melbourne, Australia. It's when NXT, this is crazy too, NXT did like, they were doing their road loops, they did it in Australia. So they took NXT over there and did a few shows.
I didn't even know they did that back then.
Me neither. Well, I mean, like, until I actually went to one, and the main event was Samoa Joe against Shinsuke Nakamura in
Such
a cage.
dope match.
Yes.
In a cage. That was the main event of a freaking live event. I was like, what?
That's crazy.
So they did the tryout while they were over there. There was about 50 of us from mainly Australia, a few of us from New Zealand, and then like surrounding areas, I think Malaysia. And then I did really well.
I know geography.
Yeah, that area. And then I did the tryout, and I did like well in the tryout, but it was the promo that I was like myself over,
Really?
because they didn't have everyone do the promo. They picked like a handful of people that like I guess did well in the tryout to do the promo, and then it was
Tell me about this partnership. Tell me what she means to you and some of the stuff you might have learned from Lash.
She is a sister to me, and just her and I finding each other has been a blessing. And like, we've all seen it. We've seen Lash grow to where she is now. We've seen me grow from where I was to now. And I feel like we elevate each other. We motivate each other. That's my girl for real. Like, we definitely just like, we click. And I feel like the people see that too. And they appreciate that about us, that we have this sisterhood and we just have each other's backs. But shoot, she's taught me so much as well. Clearly we have our dynamic, but she's really good at leading. Like, she's a really good leader. So I respect that about her so much. She's really that girl. Can't mess with her, okay? And I'm just glad to have her on my side, okay? If you mess with me, you mess with her.
And she comes in with that athletic background, that team background. So like, you know, she has probably those leadership skills from that. And like, it's interesting to see her growth too, because you know we started with the talk show with her, and then now she's in this metaphor, and you guys have been able to do some really cool stuff. Like, you guys, I remember there was like a week you guys were on like Raw, NXT, and SmackDown.
Yeah, we were all over the place.
Yeah. Talk about that experience of being able to go up to the main roster, work with people like Bianca and Jade and Naomi, and those experiences and what you guys learned from that, and just the fact that they see you guys as a team that's like, oh, we can put these girls anywhere.
It's amazing. And as they should see us as a team that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
be up there. Like, we have all of the tools, but being up there was so amazing because we got to work with those more seasoned people, and like, they're great. I feel like they brought the greatness out of us and still are. And just to get that feel of what it is like, because that's the goal. That's the main goal. So to get those feels and to get that experience was so needed. And if it didn't fuel a fire, it most certainly, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ready. Like, we want that. Like, that's the goal, like I said. So just getting a taste of that, it's fueling our fire even more to work harder to reach it and shoot.
Things that I love about wrestling. It doesn't always happen, and the more I'm learning about from friends and just listening to friends like yourself and other friends that I have in the industry now, just seeing the give back from the wrestlers these days. Like, I feel like there was horror stories of how there was zero give back in the day, the 80s and 70s and stuff. But you see now they're like, the older generation wrestlers are actually helping the younger generation wrestlers. I mean, they're putting them over in matches more often. It's a whole thing, and I think it's just really, it's a really cool thing to see, even just as a fan. But I could imagine as a performer how much more that must mean to you.
Yeah, I mean, just getting to it, like, there's stuff that I've been able to pass on to
the younger NXT talent, and then there's people above me that have passed on things to me. And every time you're in the ring with somebody that's been in this business longer or has done more, you get a little bit better. And really, that's how you do get better, is being in the ring with people that are more experienced than you. Because I mean, you can work with people at your level, and you will get better by doing that. But nothing elevates you more than a challenge. And every time you get in the ring with somebody that's more experienced, more advanced, knows more, it's always a little bit of a challenge to keep up with them or work at their pace, or just also getting to like talk to them and see how they view things or how they would do things. So it's kind of like this domino effect of like, this person works with me, I work with this person, and that person works with this person. And it's a domino effect of everyone getting better, everyone passing down what they've learned to the next person, and then passing what they've learned on to the next person, and so forth. So it's just like a never-ending domino effect, especially in NXT, because we have so much new talent constantly coming in here. A lot of people are athletes that have never been in a ring a day in their life, and they have to learn from scratch in NXT. And I can't imagine that. I got lucky and I did the independent scene, and I've done this for a long time. So I came in having a little bit of a grasp on like who I wanted to be in the ring or what I wanted to do. But now we've got athletes that they're really talented and athletic, but they know nothing about wrestling whatsoever. And so it's up to us to try to kind of help them figure out who they want to be in the ring, and help them get polished and learn.
All right, that was interviews of Gigi Dolan. She did interview Jakara Jackson and Dakota Kai, talking about how they came to WWE. I know Jakara Jackson talking about her time with Metaphor and Lash Legend, how she see her like a sister. And then, of course, we had Gigi Dolan talking about her time in NXT, of how, legends and other experienced wrestlers. And also, the writing was on the wall when we saw people like Cora Jade. Cora Jade, she spent a lot of time at TNA this year. She was at, regular TV shows on Thursdays, and also was at TNA PLEs. They even competed for the TNA Knockouts Women's Championship. So I'm saying this because I believe if you notice a pattern, all the people that were sent from NXT down to TNA, they spent a lot of time down there. I think that was a sign that they had nothing else to do with them, and it was a matter of time for it to get released. Not just Cora Jade, that was on TNA a lot. We also saw recently of Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. I know Lash Legend didn't get released, but I'm talking about Jakara. They spent a lot of time on TNA as well, even competing for the tag team titles. And also we had Gigi Dolan with Tatum Paxley, also compete for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. And they spent a lot of time down there, and we see the common denominator, 3 of these women have got released, in Gigi, Cora, and Jakara. Now, Cora Jade, I'm talking about in particular. Cora Jade, I'm really not surprised she got released, not just because it's TNA situation. Cora Jade she spent years in NXT. She was in NXT, back in the 2.0 era. And she was there, 20... Cora Jade was on NXT for a long time. We only saw her on the main roster once when she went to Rhea Ripley to pick an opponent for, which was Roxanne Perez. She picked Rhea Ripley to fight her. She never was really featured on the main roster or PLEs for that matter. And Cora Jade is injury prone. She got hurt a lot. I know she just came back from that injury back with 23. She was out for a year with the MCL, ACL injury. And to quite be honest, I like Cora Jade. She was not no, unique performer out of the shadow, out of the dark. It's the type of performer that catch your eye. She was average at best. She was not all that. If she was really that good, really, a generational talent, they would have called her to the main roster even before she started getting hurt. So it's nothing unique about Cora Jade as far as her in-ring ability. So I'm not surprised that she got released, despite her being tied to Roxanne Perez. Then we have another one with Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai, another one. She was injury prone. She was always injured, always hurt, always on social media complaining when she didn't get her push or something happened. And we have to realize, Dakota Kai, it was a lot they did with her. I mean, Dakota Kai not too long ago was just in the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament and even made it to the finals. And she did lose to Live Valkyria. Now, even though she didn't win the Women's Intercontinental Championship, she even got a rematch. And she's a 2-time Women's Tag Team Champion. And she was in Damage Control, one of the biggest, stables in WWE at the time. She was involved in a storyline where they turned on Bayley and she turned on Bayley, where Bayley went babyface before winning the Royal Rumble last year and going to WrestleMania WWE Women's Championship. She was a part of that storyline. She was not the Women's Champion, but there was a lot going on with her, and I think her complaining, it pretty much got the best of her on top of her being injury prone. So some of these releases, I know some people on social media like, I can't believe some of these people got released. We got to pay attention to storyline, time frame, and what's going on. When you don't see these people on TV for a while, if they're not injured, there's no major storyline for them. At some point, they may be on the chipping block to get released. Now, like I said, the only one I saw that was somewhat kind of a shock was Shayna Baszler, and that's because she just re-signed with WWE. Braun Strowman did not see him on TV, like I said before. Caden Carter, Katana Chance did not see him on TV that much. We just saw them recently. And, and Dakota Kai, her situation. And most of the other talent, they were even on the main roster. A lot of these people that got released, they're pretty much NXT Evolved talent. And also as well with the overload talent, if you guys notice the pattern, most of the people in WWE that are being released are women. And they hire too many women in WWE, way too many women. I mean, we had every time I look up, a new woman's getting signed. In the past, year and a half, we had Jade Cargill come to WWE. We have also Julia, Stephanie Walker. We had Jordan Grace, Zarya. Every time I look up, it's a new woman signing. Now, there's rumors, which I may talk about too. Mariah May rumored to make the jump from AEW to WWE. And, so it's just every time I look up there, it's a brand new signing of a female talent. And unfortunately, due to the women that's been there for a while, they're not going to be able to make it. And also, too, with the women that were on NXT, with Gigi Dolan, Jakara, Cora Jade, that's the 2.0 era women. All the 2.0 women, they're getting them out. Now, Matt Cardona said on here on social media, he said to the recent release, you had 3 choices: fade to obscurity, coast off to the WWE name, or work your ass off and make a name for yourself independent scene. Giving words of wisdom to the people that got released. And he said, dear indie God, Matt Cardona, he was released back in the COVID era. He's still doing his thing on the independent scene. So hopefully all the people that got released, I hope they do find what they're looking for. Best of luck in their future endeavors, as they say. Well, other than that, that's all I have for WWE releases, talent of a loaded roster. You guys let me know what you think of these releases. Were these releases a shocker, or you kind of saw it coming? Check out the content at Toss Ring Scandal, a.k.a. KDH. Until then, guys, you already know what it is at this point. It's OUT.